Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments, and I am bringing you what I think is going to be our last installment of the back to school, except for the flip through that I'll do as soon as I have all of my titles done, so you can see the final version. This was where we left off with the prom, so I just wanted to kind of show you a few things that I've done already. This was a Fast to Fabulous set of pages that I had that was purple, of course, so because we're doing purple and gold for my school colors. And so this was for graduating from seminary. I actually spoke at the graduation ceremony, so there was a little thank you note from the high councilman who was in charge. And then I have this, if you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, then you'll recognize this. It's just a card that kind of shows chronology of some of the scriptures from the Book of Mormon that we studied. Anyway, this will go in here as well. I'm not sure yet how, probably along the side right here. But I don't think you have seen one of these before. I mentioned earlier on in my videos that I was going to be adding some things, some of the writing samples and things like that when I was younger, into our 8.5 by 11 sleeves. And so that's what this is. It's an 8.5 by 11 sleeve. It has brackets on it, so it fits in just like a regular page would. And I can put the program for the graduation ceremony for seminary right in here, and you can see both sides of it, which is really nice. And it just functions as an additional page between these two. So really easy, pretty simple. This is Fast to Fab. Okay, so the graduation paper portion of this is printed on the page with the yellow printed on the page. The blue you can see through this purple was actually printed on the page, and I just added this purple border to kind of bring it more in line with my school colors. And then this was our announcement, and this was the picture that they took at school in our cap and gown, just to get us excited, I think, about graduation. This is the start of graduation, and it was a Fast to Fabulous page on this side that I covered up the top of because I didn't like it. It didn't really fit with where I was in the story. So I just added some graduation paper. This is from the back to school pack, and then added some cardstock below it just to bring more color up here and accent everything. Just some friends. These books that are here are from a border that I cut apart from an old series called Bookworm, I think, from a few years ago. And then these are flocked embellishments from the Showtime collection that I believe is still available. Okay, so that brings us up to speed with where we are in the album, and now I'm working on the pages that will actually show the graduation ceremony, which we had outdoors at San Diego State University in their amphitheater, which I believe no longer exists, sadly enough. And I'm going to be following or creating this kind of based on a sketch that is in the Creative Memories 110 scrapbooking ideas and sketches. I just thought that would be kind of fun to do for this one. And so I've taken some, these two star pages are from the Bedazzled Stars that came out earlier this year, and I have a couple little notes here to kind of guide me to what my plan was for today, so just bear with me a second. So I'm going to take this full sheet and we're going to cut it at 8 inches and we're going to make a banner with it, a very large banner with it. So we're going to cut this at 8 and set that aside. Excuse me, then I'm going to cut 1.5 inches off the end of this. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Okay, so 1.5. And mine is not lining up correctly, so I'm not able to make sure it's straight. 1.5. There we go. Okay. And I already have an 8-inch piece over here that I had cut it to use it for something else and then changed my mind. And so what I ended up doing was just going ahead and cutting an appropriate length and then welding my pieces together like you've seen me do before. So that's what's going on with this piece. And then this is going to be this side. We're going to cut this into a very large banner. So I'm going to put my corners together. I'm not going to crease it. I'm just putting my corners together here. I'm going to hold those tight and grab my scissors. It's not a deep banner, so I don't have to worry about taking up too much room. Only about 1 inch of depth, I think. I'm trying to keep that as straight as I can, cutting towards the fold. Okay, there we go. Roughly 1 inch. Okay, and so that's going to slip underneath these pictures that I already have cut. And in case you're curious, these pictures are 3 inches by 6. 3 by 6. Okay, and there's 3 of them. The yellow paper that you see that I'm going to have as my base for these two pages of layouts is taken from a different collection, and I am so sorry, but I don't remember which one it is. It's an older one though, so it's not terribly likely that it's something that you have in your collection. I am also going to use some cardstock. This is our eggplant purple cardstock, and then this striped strip I think came from one of the back to school collections from a couple of years ago, because it has this primary stripe on the back, which we're not going to use. So I'm going to cut 8 inches of this. And going to make a vertical piece. We'll see how it looks. This is how the sketch, what the sketch uses, so we'll see if I like it with all of this other stuff that we've got going on this page. So we've got 8 inches, and then I have a note here that I'm not understanding. Oh, now I remember what this is for. Okay, so this is meant to go underneath here, and then the photos will go over it. But I don't know if I'm gonna, I actually don't think I'm gonna use this piece. So the initial sketch has this piece here and then 4 photographs like this. Since I'm using 3 photographs and I'm not going to have them stacked like that, I'm going to have them layered this way. I don't think I'm going to use this now that I'm looking at it. So let's set that aside for just a second. I have this other piece, this striped piece, and this is going to be an accent for underneath the ribbon at the bottom here. So I'm going to cut 1 inch off of this piece, and this piece, to start with, this piece is 5 inches wide, 12 inches long and 5 inches wide. I'm going to cut 1 inch off of this, and that 1 inch is going to go on this side, and then the remainder of this is going to go on this side. Okay. And then let me just set that up here. We'll take a look at how these photos are going to work out here. So that's going to be like so and like so, and then this piece is going to go underneath here, about like that. And then I'm going to do some borders using the flag banner punch. Do you remember this from a little while back? If you're a CM user, you'll probably recognize it. We're going to make some banners with this. So let's use our, in fact, let me use this piece that we cut off. I'm just going to use the eggplant cardstock, and I'm going to make some banners to go across. Initially, this punch was designed to work with a 4th of July collection, which is awesome and cool. It's really fun to use with 4th of July, but I just wanted to try it in another celebratory instance, because I don't use this all the time for my 4th of July photos, so there's got to be, you know, more ways to use it. Okay, so this piece is going to go across the top of our stars up here. And we're going to do a few more of these. So bear with me a second while I punch these. All right, so I have punched several of these borders with the idea that we will add them to this layout across the top and the bottom. Let's assemble some of this and see where we are and how this is coming together, okay? And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the photos off of this side, and we'll get to assembling this. Okay, so some permanent adhesive down this piece. I'm just going about 1 inch to 1.5 inches up from the bottom with this one. Then we'll go ahead and put the banner on. Banner is going to go flush with the edge of our paper and roughly 1 inch, maybe slightly higher than the bottom of this purple striped piece. Let me go ahead and adhere this to, you can see this beautiful blue on the back side. If my school colors were blue, I probably would have used this page because it's a very pretty blue. It's just the wrong color. Okay. All right, so going from the center to the edge. Going to make sure the base lines up, which I'm a little bit off, so hang on a second. Center and lining up the base. There we go. Okay. I think maybe that page is just cut just a tiny bit off. That's why it wasn't lining up. All right. Anyway, there we go. And then I need my repositionable adhesive to go ahead and put the banner across the bottom. And this banner is going to go right across the very bottom of the purple so that you can see the yellow through it. Okay, the top banner is meant to go from the corner edge of the banner to the center. So I'm going to need to adjust just a little bit. I'm going to cut this, continue this banner piece up and cut off that outer edge. Okay. And this is going to go just above the tip of that corner so that I can let it hang down over the banner. Just like so. And then these photos kind of show the progression of our entry into the amphitheater as we walked in. Super excited about ourselves, right? Can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but I graduated from a high school in East County, in the East County of San Diego, and we had 410 graduates. So there were a lot of us. Probably not as many as some schools, but more than some others. Okay, so there's that. Then we're going to go ahead and assemble this page. So let me take these photos off carefully so I keep them in the order I have them in. And I'm going to assemble this page in a little bit different order because I want to make sure that everything is lining up with this page. So let's go ahead and put our base page on first. Lining it up with the center and the base edge. Sorry, I have a few other things for the following pages underneath. I think I'm going to just move those so that it's not quite so lumpy. And I have a better idea where the rest of these things need to go. And this one I don't have anything going on the bottom of this one, so I don't have to worry about putting the purple stripe paper down first because it's going off the edge of this paper, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I'm just lining this up so it's at the same place as the other star banner on the left side. And then this striped paper is going to continue the stripe from this side. And we're going to add this banner across, again right at the base of that purple stripe, just like that. Okay, one more banner and we'll be good to go with those. This just goes right across the top of the stars, just like that. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and put our pictures on. This one, I believe, with these two being slightly larger, I'm going to have to just bear with me a second while I figure out the spacing of these so that they balance and are not wonky. All right, that'll work. Go to a graduation and you hear Pomp and Circumstance, right? We heard that song over and over and over and over again, as you can imagine. Fortunately, we had a pretty decent school orchestra, if I remember right. So it wasn't too bad. Could have been. Of course, when we're the ones walking, it's super fun and exciting, but you know, I'm sure everybody who was listening was plumb tired of it by the time that everybody got into the arena or into the amphitheater. And these last two are going to just overlap just a little. I probably could have shortened them to make them fit just a little better, but that is the way it goes. All right, so I need a journal box right here, so bear with me a second. All right, so I right now I don't have any cute graduation hats that I could use as embellishments on this page, so I'm just going to wait because I know that those will become available as our graduation season approaches and gets closer. I'm just going to use this cute little piece of our matte pack as my journal box, just squeezing that right in there. And then I have this cute thing that says Classmates, which will probably go on here somewhat like that. For now, I'm just going to tuck it in here so I don't misplace it, and then when some of those other graduation type embellishments come out, then I will add more to this page. But right now I just don't have any, and I don't want to just put any old thing on here, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so flipping over to the next set of pages, I have another sketch I'm going to follow that should go really pretty quickly, and I've already pre-cut my photos so they should all fit pretty nicely. So let me just set those aside for a second. I've got some textured papers here that I found in a paper pack that I received not too long ago. They are not CM, but they are the right color, so I'm going to go with these. And we're going to use the gold as the base and the purple as the accent. Okay, so those are going to be the base. And then for our accent papers, so we're going to use the purple as an accent paper. And this is what we're going to do. I'm going to choose one of these pieces, and I'm going to cut 2 pieces that are 1.5 inches. So there's one piece, there's 2 pieces, okay, so one for that page, one for that page. Then I'm going to cut another piece that is 4.5 inches, 4.5, no, let's go 4, I beg your pardon, we're going to go 5 inches. So I'm going to go 5 inches with that one. This one's just going to be set aside for a second. I need another 5-inch piece. Okay, one for each page. Now I need, okay, so now I need 4 that are 4 by 4. Let's see if this one is 4 inches. It is, so perfect. We're going to cut this into 3 4-inch squares, and then I'm going to cut another 4-inch square. So there's 3. We're going to cut another 4-inch strip and make this a 4-inch square. Okay. Then I think that's it for right now. So I'm going to set that aside over here. Now what I need is I had these out to do something special with them, and I think they're going to be our accent borders. So for now, I'm going to set them aside and assemble some of this page and see how I'm liking it, because it's kind of a different layout than what I typically do. So just bear with me here a second. Purple and purple. And then these are going to go here in the middle on some other photos, so, or under some other photos as mats. Okay, so what I have here are some mats that I had that are from a very, very old CM collection. If you've been around CM for a while, you may recognize them a little bit. They are definitely vintage. They don't go all the way back to the beginning of CM, but they've been around for a while. So I'm going to use some of these to mat my photos, and I'm going to, trim them up because they're not going to fit all of my pictures, because I have actually cut several of my photos down to make them a little smaller. But these will accent my photos really nicely, and so I am going to work hard to make them work. So let's see here. I'm going to first use this one on top, and I'm just going to go ahead and mount these photos on here. So you can see they work well for the dimensions, the 5-inch dimensions of the outside. I'm going to need to trim a little bit off of there, but eventually that photo will go right up there. And I only had a couple of these with this cute little flower print, so I tried to sort of space it out so that there's one on each page, so it's just sort of balanced. This particular layout definitely uses up some of my my well-cultivated stash, which is good. Because if you have been a paper crafter for any length of time, you know our stashes tend to grow, and sometimes they grow larger than we intend. So these squares are going to be the first layer of matting, and then I'm going to add them to the black mat so they are double matted. Okay, again, I'm going to be trimming these, so don't worry too much over the fact that there's that extension off to the right. Sometimes I have a vision and I can't really see it to fruition until it's actually coming together, and then I can make a better call as to what I want to do. So that's kind of what's happened in this particular instance. Okay, so there's those two. And then these two will go on the other page. And, oh, purple first, then black. I knew there was something off. The darker colors, I'm intentionally using darker colors on this page. It's not because of anything, you know, morbid or crazy, but I feel like when I use black pages for my albums, I feel like the colors, even the deep colors, jump off the page at me. So I wanted to emphasize this page and give it some ability to kind of jump off the page as we look at these pictures. So that is where that's the rationale that I used for using these darker, deeper colors. Can't really see where that edge is. All right, that's better. That, and I've got two pictures that I'm combining for this last one. Probably could have used a peekaboo pocket for this particular part, but I just decided, no, I just want to put them down so they're all visible. Come on, there we go. At the same time. So these two are just going to go right underneath each other just like that. Okay, now let me grab my trimmer and trim these up so we can actually see how they will fit together. Okay. Two more hiding underneath. 4.5. Okay, so let's make sure all of this fits where we want it, and then we can adhere these photos down. And get the rest of this put together. Okay, so these are meant to be a little bit offset, and these are meant to be even. I think that's going to work. I think that's going to work really, really well. And actually, I'm going to switch these two right here. All right, let's get this assembled. So, you might notice there's one of these photos that I am not in. It does not follow me through what I was doing to get up there to have my name announced and walk through and get my diploma. It's that lower right corner picture. That is a picture of a dear friend of mine, and he was a teacher at our school. Not only was he a teacher at our school, but he was also a bishop of our ward at the time that I graduated. And he passed away a number of years ago, but his wife is still alive, and she is also very special to me. They are have been friends of our family for a very long time. My dad, I think, actually coached his son in Little League Baseball, and I worked with his daughter for a little while after I graduated from high school. So, you know, just kind of one of those relationships that lasts a long time. Very special people. Okay. Putting this purple right on the edge of the gold, and we're going to go ahead and flip this over and glue that gold piece on. Okay. There's that. Okay, just putting about 1/8 of an inch of the gold around the edge of this, the corner of this picture down here. And then making this one about 1/8 of an inch from the top and 1/8 of an inch from its neighbor. Okay, so just like that. That way I can create similar margins for this page next to it. Bishop Hemingway. He was my accounting teacher. He taught accounting and all kinds of business type classes. Typing, and I don't think he taught shorthand. I had Mrs. Birkebile, or Miss Birkebile, for shorthand all the years that I had that. I don't think they teach shorthand anymore. Was it dying art, I think, when I was learning it, but it served me well for taking notes in college, at least for a little while. Stenography, I think, was kind of taking over at that point in time, and of course now everybody just sort of, there's all this wonderful computer technology that will record your voice for you. Of course, then you have to make sure you edit it, because who knows what Siri or the other computer programs are thinking that you're saying. You never know what they're going to put down as your words. Kind of like editing text messages, you know. You gotta make sure you double check what the computer is doing. All right, one more, and then we'll get this page adhered on. And then, like I was saying before, I don't have a lot of graduation embellishments right now because I'm recording this in the fall 2022, and so I didn't realize we were going to have a back-to-school collection come out and that I would decide to do this project, so I did not obtain any last season. So I'll have to wait just a little bit to get some embellishments to go on this page, or these pages that have graduation caps and other fun things. All right. So now the only other thing I'm going to go ahead and add on here is it recommended that we have, or the sketch recommends that there be a border that goes across here. So in doing a border that goes across here, I think that's why I had pulled out this paper, so that it would kind of go with the black, but maybe lighten the page up just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and use this and punch a couple of borders, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to use my black and white paper, and this is a border maker or border cartridge that came out a little while ago. I don't really remember. Oh, I've got Rolling Leaf written on it. So this is one, I believe this came from Creative Memories Australia, and it's a very useful punch. I really, really like it. It's a decorative, cute little decorative design, and it I think it's perfect to kind of go along with what I've already got on these pages. So I'm just going to print or punch one more. I already punched a couple, and I'm just going to punch one more of these borders, and then we'll play with where they ought to go. Okay. Love the Border Maker system. It's so versatile, and rather than creating a super large design, it allows you to kind of create some smaller, more intricate designs, which is nice. So each of these is going to go along these edges right here. And then I'm going to add a little bit along the bottom of this one and a little bit along the top of this one. So I guess I probably only needed 3. So we need, let's see, I'm going to cut that right there. And then we need roughly the same amount for this other one. Sorry, just trying to make sure that they're as close to the same as I can. So there we go. So these pieces will go right in there, like so. I like that. Okay. And then I also have these cute little journal boxes, which should go kind of tucked in on the sides here. Or tucked in on the sides over here. Maybe I'll stick this one over on this side. Let me add some adhesive to the back. Put this right in here. Like so. Should put this on as well. Look at that, there's yellow on the back of this particular paper. Unfortunately not the right shade of yellow, or I probably could have used that. And I'm just putting this so that it's right in the middle of that seam. So I can see half of it, half and half, with the design on the punch, like so. All right, same thing right here. Let me place that so that I want to place this so that I can see half black and half yellow or half gold through it. There we go. And then this one. Same thing here. And if I had put on my border before adhering my photos, then the photo would be over the top of my border, but since I didn't, it actually kind of frames this photo really nicely, top and bottom. So I'm just going to leave it like that. All right. So I think that's going to be it for these pages, again, because I don't have any embellishments for the graduation, but I will come back later and add some balloons or cute graduation embellishments on this page. So when I do the flip through, take a look and see if I've been able to find those by the time I do that flip through video for you. All right, and let me just show you quickly the rest of the album that I've completed. This is the this was the program from graduation. Some of the members of our class, there were more names, but I did not include them because my last name was Austin at the time, and it is right here on the first page. So where is it? Right there. So I just didn't worry about the rest because I didn't really have room to keep all of that. These are just some friends that I happened to catch afterwards. Mike Fielding, he was a really good friend of mine during school. And this was my family. This is my little sister. She's not that little anymore. My dad, who's passed away, and my sweet mom. And yeah, so fun program page. Oh, this graduation paper does come from the back to school pack, and then the yellow stripe, I believe, is the flip side of one of those papers as well. So I just used a decorative edge on this piece right here, and then this piece is both straight, and just gave it a little bit of panache for the sides of the page. And then this was the party afterwards. We went to Stuart Anderson's for dinner. We had cake at the Morgan's house, my best friend's house. This was, there's actually 3 sheets of paper used in this border. I cut this decorative piece off of this sheet. So this is the other half of it over here, or the other portion of the sheet. And then used 2 different shades of paper to kind of extend that color and let it kind of gradually blend towards the center. And then just decided I ought to have something indicating this was graduation related. So I added a strip of the graduation hat paper with the gold to kind of offset the purple. Anyway, just some snapshots. Good friends and family. And then I did the same thing on these 2 pages. This was a party that was thrown, kind of an open house for me. And so I did the same thing and gradually added 3 different types of paper on the border in, and used a decorative edge on it, although it's so small you almost can't even see. And then this was my main graduation present, a hope chest. Any of you have a hope chest or receive a hope chest when you were growing up? That was my graduation gift, which was really neat. And then these 2 pages are just sort of some afterwards things that happened, memorabilia that I had. This is a copy of a picture that was taken of me in and around my senior year. I taught primary at church, and this was a picture of my class. Those kids are all grown up, married, and have their own children now, which kind of makes me feel old. And then this was a sign that I had up in my room that somehow got saved. And so I thought it would be cool to include it. Anyway, that is the end. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this in the book, in the album cover set for you, and then get my titles done, and then I'll do a flip through video. So watch for that in the next few weeks, and you'll be able to see everything all completed. All right. All right, sounds good. I hope that you've enjoyed this set of videos, and I hope that it's helped you assemble some back-to-school books for either for yourself or for your loved ones, your kids. It really is neat to have these and to be able to reflect on a job well done growing up in and see kind of how the progress that's made through all those formative years. Really, really neat. And I'm grateful that you hung in there with me and watched all of these. Thanks so much. Until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. You have a great day.